Hello, greetings. I am with Mr. John Whitney Jr., and we are at his amazing, what do you want to call it, a historical museum in a tent here at Lovelight Festival. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great today.
Great, awesome. So tell us about what you have here and what you're doing. What's going on.
So basically, I curate a collection that is for sale of handmade, indigenous, uh, religious art from around the world, all handmade, also including some jewelry and stuff and some crystals. But yeah, it's just a reflection of my passions in life and the beauty of cultural expression around the world.
So, how many would you say different religions are represented here
I
in
think
this?
easily at least 6 different belief systems are generally referenced here through the iconographic imagery that you see here. Indonesia, South America, China, Japan. Yeah, I do have African art, but most of it is at my gallery. A lot of that stuff is pretty delicate because it's Asian. I don't travel with it a lot, yeah, or it's too big to bring. But
Okay. So, because of there's a teaching in the background. Try to speak up because that's just
absolutely, oh
very
yeah, yeah,
important. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you have, I see, dragons back here. What's going on with the dragons?
So the dragons are from Bali, and the story is they have a creation story, and its origin I'm not sure if I think it's kind of mixed with Hinduism and their indigenous belief system, but they believe that the navel of the earth is this island. It's basically a mountain that comes out of the ocean, and around it is what they call the Milky Sea. And the twin serpents, the Nagas, they stir up the Milky Sea,
Yeah.
and when it washes up onto the land, it immediately turns into life, and life springs forth from it. You know what I mean? So it's like the elixir of life. Yeah.
Wow.
hmm
So, would you consider yourself very knowledgeable, kind of average, or as far as religious beliefs?
I'm gonna say, maybe a little bit above average. I'm not gonna sell myself short. I mean, I've definitely done a lot of homework. I definitely done a lot of independent study about a lot of different belief systems, and I've had a lot of life experience. It definitely gave me some spiritual experiences that helped shape my perspective and my belief system for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions
hmm
now. All right, so in front of the dragon over here,
hmm
you have a couple of white uh, figurines. And what are those?
So they would, in the Hindu and the Balinese culture, they would be called lingam, which is a male fertility symbol, the symbol of creation, male creative energy. They're usually put on altars and given offerings and stuff in order to invite and encourage the male creative force energy into the space wherever they're placed. That's one of their uses.
Lingam.
Yeah,
Okay.
lingam, yeah, lingam, yeah.
Okay, so
hmm
I gave you a book to look at.
Yes.
Now, could you hold that up? I can show everybody. Okay. So, could you tell me if you see any type of lingam in this image here of Christ?
I definitely do in this abdomen area here. It's pretty clear the shape of this is a lingam shape, a phallic symbol. I think it was subtly tried to be masked as that abdominal definition, but really, I feel very strongly that it is a symbol, a phallic symbol. It's also very interesting that just below it, this is a very unusual knot tied here, and I think that has significant meaning as well. There's a lot of traditions that have certain knots or a certain amount of knots tied into the rope around their waist that signify different teachings or beliefs. Yeah.
So, what was your, just without really reading the book, what was your deduction as far as the artist or intention or?
Just for my personal references and the things that I've studied, it does look like a Byzantine influenced Jesus. Before I was trying to figure out what this was, but it's actually the wound in his side where the spear destiny was done, because it was strange because all the halos were red, and I actually thought it was part of the background image, but it's not. It's actually him bleeding from the side there. After our discussion, like I said, I feel like this possibly could have been a iconographic piece from a cloistered order or a secret order of Christians who followed a non-traditional Christian belief system. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it was an order of only male. You know what I mean? Which, traditionally, especially Catholic, it really was. The priesthood and all the ruling class of the Catholic Church were only allowed to be male. So I think that may be part of it. Yeah. But it is beautiful, striking art as well. I did find it unusual that the halos are red as well, like I said to you before, because I'm used to just seeing them as gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it feels like it's symbolic of something that's not what we're normally accustomed to seeing or understanding about, Christian iconography.
Wow, that's really fascinating, and I really do respect your opinion on this, because you obviously have come in contact with similar type, whether it's these here or.
The other thing I find interesting is it's almost never talked about ever about Jesus' sexuality, which I think is an unusual thing, because he was a man too. He wasn't just this, this deified thing, which. As far as I understand, really, he didn't really become that anyway until he was sacrificed. You know what I mean? His truly being, given that position. He lived very much like a man for the majority of his life, and I think it's a missed opportunity at some pretty significant teachings, not discussing more about Jesus's sexuality.
I think it's pretty much understood that he really liked Mary Magdalene in a very special way.
Yes.
But because of his mission that he was very aware of, he really, didn't feel called to bring that to marriage.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
But I think she, would rub his feet with her hair and massage him, and
not in an overtly sexual way,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was still love expressed physically through them. You know what I mean? In a very innocent way. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's. None of us were there, so
right.
We don't really know, and I don't really think that it makes him any less of a divine being if he were to have done that. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that. But what I think they're more trying to express with that is that his commitment to finding a way to liberate the suffering of the people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Was his goal.
Right.
Exactly. Want to be distracted by other things. And I think most people that are called to orders like that, it's that higher calling that they feel that their purpose isn't to be here merely to procreate, but more to seek a way to alleviate the suffering of other people and humanity. You know what I mean?
How can people find you? And if they're interested, because you're selling a lot of these artifacts, and I mean, I'm seeing things here that are like very, very rare and unique.
Yes, I mean, I have a pretty well-trained eye now. I try to vet as much as I can where things come from and what they are. I am located just outside of Philadelphia in a town called Lansdowne. It's about 10 minutes outside of Philadelphia. It's 201 West Baltimore Avenue in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. I have a gallery there that's open by appointment. We have a yoga studio where we teach yoga, Tai Chi, and Qigong. I do have two online sites, both New A Gallery and UE Gallery on Facebook and Instagram. I ship anywhere in the world, and I'm also really good at finding rare stuff that people are looking for, specifically religious iconographic stuff. If you're looking for stuff to build an altar at your house or a sacred space at the house, and you have specific icons or imagery that you're looking for, I'm really good at finding authentic, real things, and I will do the best to make them as affordable as I can. That's another thing. I'm not trying trying to sell things at exploitative costs. I want this stuff to be able to go as affordably as possible to the people who really need it. You know what I mean? That's important to me. And then supporting indigenous and tribal cultural heritage through embracing their expressions of their cultural art, so that those traditions stay viable and alive and don't disappear.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Namaste.
Namaste.